Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Blender a Day. Now, let's see, important things. First of all, it looks like I'm going to have to re-enable a couple settings. So, give me 1 second. Hopefully this is... yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't know why it turned off my screencast keys, but that's back now. Righty, so welcome back to another Blender a Day. Today I was going to work on a slightly more complex object, and this one's going to require multiple objects, so we'll get to do some multi-object fusion type stuff, which is pretty fun.
Just know that there are people there for you, whether you're aware of it or not. It's a really good time for you, I promise you. 6 time and a little bit of effort. I know you won't believe me at first, but you just have to have a little bit of faith and a little bit of hope.
Alright, so I'm going to do some 3D modeling of a revolver, something along those lines. Probably going to spice it up a little bit. This one's going to be interesting because some parts of this, I mean, instinctively, I don't know what's with this circle. So instinctively you might think that like some parts of this, like right here, fit really well with the cube, while other parts of it, you know, fit better with a cylinder. So like this part right here, and then, you know, that's obviously a cylinder. So I think what we're gonna do, instead of trying to be complicated and, you know, add, you know, twist the shape and extrude it out in weird ways, we're just gonna work with multiple shapes. So, for the time being, we're going to get rid of that and add in a cylinder. I'm a little slow today. My brain's slightly toasted. I don't know why. Anyway, the important thing is that we're here. That's what matters. Something like that, then do a Shift D, scale that down for the right here, and there'll be some overlap. That's pretty good. Let's see how that looks. Okay, cool. And we'll worry about specific shading and whatnot afterward. For right now, I'm just going to kind of assemble a basic piece. Is that this enables me to, I'm just going to come over here. For some pieces, like this cylinder right here, which is going to be this little segment. Yeah, the bonus is this will let us work in a little more detail. So for this spot, we're probably just going to polish this down a bit, add a hole through the center. Whereas this cylinder right here, we're going to add a little more detail. You know, probably add some individual divots for loading the bullets themselves. It'll make it look a little more realistic. That way it's not just all carved from a single piece of digital clay. Instead it looks like it's made from multiple components. Okay. So now it's time to bring back the cube. I know I probably could have just hidden that, but it's not important. Speaking of hiding, we're going to do that for that. I'm going to scale this out here. Line that up. Scale it along our, well, I guess in this case our Z-axis. Grab it, slide it. Okay. It's really cheesy without, you know, any actual editing, but that's the idea. And we're gonna need to narrow this down a little bit, so we're gonna scale it down on our Y. Not too much. Right there. We'll smooth that out. Unless I'm mistaken, maybe I'll use the drawing pad for like one or more details, just to make it look like some spots were, you know, scratched or something like that. But aside from that, basically everything here should not require the drawing tablet. So everything here is going to be pure vanilla, baby. I mean, not a vanilla baby. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. But anyway. Okay, so since we're working on this piece, we're going to switch over to edit mode, wireframe it. The other two are also wireframed. We're going to subdivide this a couple times so that we have something to work with. Yeah. Probably going to need more than that later, but for right now, that will serve our general needs. And we won't have to overcomplicate it either. So, switch on proportional editing, and then just start dragging stuff around. Subdivisions here to make that a little smoother, but for the time being, that works. I'm going to subdivide those two. Express purpose of... Yes. This part down here because I actually want to use this further out. So that'll help us later on. With this, I'm just going to do a simple extrusion. Well, actually, let's do this whole thing. Rotate. faces that we would want. So when I was trying to pull on it before, it was distorting the actual material, which is weird and trippy and bizarre. So instead, I'm just going to put this piece and that piece actually, yeah, there's the exact number of vertices, so we could very easily. Subdivide it twice. Wonderful. It's going to be an unnecessary amount of detail for this one spot, but you know what? That's okay. About this middle chamber in a little bit, step by step. Probably, actually, let's see what it looks like. Solid. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Honestly, it looks more like the front of a train than the back of a gun, but yeah. Progress. Start curving that back in. Pop it off right there, scale it down further. Create a little bit of a rounded curve. Not really super round per se, but you know, rounded. Yeah, get kind of that roundedness. Need to squish these a little bit. So far. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to squish these along the y-axis. Y, and then I can grab. No, that still has an effect. Wonder what that's supposed to do. Anyway, oh well. Learn some new later. little bit of rounding. A little too sharp, but we'll add a bevel effect there later. Okay, now for that handle part, we're going to want something curved. And I could try to model it around that, like this little area right here, but that sounds overly complicated when we could just punch a hole in it with a weirdly shaped cylinder. Let's extrude some stuff. So the only downside is we want this to have an effect as well. We don't want it to affect over there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to specifically bring down this part. And something like that. Drag that a little bigger, just so we can kind of create that bend right there. Drag that back up a little bit. Drag that down a bit. Sweet. Okay, then this part we can do some extruding, and it's not going to be, yeah, it's going to kind of come at a weird angle, so orient it. If you push Z again, it'll put it at the global Z positioning, not just Z with regards to that object. So we're going to bring this down a little bit and start doing some scaling. Well, I guess the downside to doing it this way is it's going to make this kind of bend inward a little bit, but we'll work with that in a moment. This area right here does need to be smaller and thinner anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. Just scale that up a little. Let's try that again. Extrude that one more time, except the big difference we're going to do here. We're going to take this one, and then we're going to merge. He said, oh, nope. That is not what we want to do. We want to dissolve. Except I don't think that's actually going to have the effect I intended. So, let's see. So we just delete them. Well, that creates a completely different problem. Let's see what this looks like as a solid. It looks weird. Got it. What if we just do that? I'll drop back over to wireframe, select, no, not you. Yeah. Okay, come on, come on. Yes, there we go. And then we'll bring this one back up here and scale it down like before. Like that, and then this one, bring it down like that. And check it out in solid mode. Hey, aside from, you know, a couple obvious things, that is coming together nicely. Okay, I'm going to worry about this part and the actual trigger down here last. And, you know, this little detail. For right now, I think let's start working on the... Put you back in the wireframe. shrink this part down on the y-axis as well. In a moment. We don't want that to be too thick. Alright, let's see. The easiest thing to do is, like we did before, except this time I want to line it up beforehand. Scale that on the x-axis. That's selected. Get the Boolean modifier, get the difference modifier, select object cube, apply, and then watch the magic happen. Ta-da! There we go. So I'm going to do some extra little modeling to get this part to poke out a little bit more. Or actually the rest of it to poke out a little bit less. But not yet. We are not done with that Boolean modifier. I guess that instance of it we are. But we need to get this cylinder and rotate it on the x-axis. Face it that way. Scale it out on the x as well. Rotate it slightly. Let's undo that, undo, and then scale it down slightly on the z-axis. Drag that over, rotate a little more, scale it. Now, while it doesn't need to be perfect, like I've said many times before, I do want it to get lined up well. That way there's not blaring irregularities in the size of this part right here. Like I don't want it to be super thin right here and super thick over there. So this part I'm trying to be a little more careful on. Just slide that over. Do that a bit. Down. Probably about there. Okay. Switch over to solid mode. That goes all the way through. We will add our Boolean modifier. Difference. Select cylinder, apply, and delete. And boom. Now obviously that's still, you know, a little bit thick. Work in progress. We're going to be doing a little bit of beveling today, specifically on this corner, because that one is driving me a little bit crazy. So, with this selected, we're going to hop over to edit mode, select our bevel. No, not you. Just these. Gotta make sure it's not touching anything else. And add a faint bevel effect. There. Yay. I'm also going to do some squishing along the y-axis. That will come shortly. Okay, so these two I'm probably going to model more or less as the same object and then duplicate it and do some stretching. Just for funsies. Is getting this part into the right shape. So I want all of it to shrink down, so we're going to go back into edit mode. I realize I just switched out of it, but it's a work in progress. We're going to come over here. Got to be careful with this part because I don't want to accidentally select parts that you intended. It's going to be different. Scale you on the Y. Downside here is it's going to just scale things slightly irregularly because it is is already scaled. If I scale this all the way down, and make it super thin like that, what we're going to see is that some parts, this is better in solid mode, yeah, some parts are actually going to start intersecting with themselves, which is no bueno. It's not what we're wanting. There's a couple ways we can get around this. That's not one of them. You can just keep your eye on it, kind of eyeball it until it gets to that point, and then just go from there. We're not going to do that. So instead, what I think we're going to do is we're going to do some Y scaling of these parts down here first to make them more flush with the rest of it. I realize it's working backwards, but I'll be honest, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. So, alrighty. So we are going to switch back over into wireframe mode. Drag that out. Shift, scale, Y. Make that nice and wide. Shift back over. Specifically focus on these here. Scale that out. Wide is going to create some irregularities, which is not what I wanted. So let's not do that. I wonder if I can proportional edit on a single axis. So something like this. And then it has to scale. Oh, I can. Nice. Oh, yay. That's horrifying. Okay. First we're going to shift like this. Put it back in solid mode. Just get a better eye for it. If I'm not mistaken, it actually looks like the main ones we need to focus on are from this line down. So solid mode, press S, press Y, scale it out. There's going to be a little bit of deformity. Unless focus in. Let's go right here. See, I can see it over there. So you guys are going to be problem, but I also need you to be a little more scaled out. So let's see, what are we gonna do? We're gonna try it anyway. Scale on the Y, but then we're gonna increase the size of that, which will at the very least smooth out some of that bulginess. There we go. Perfect. Okay. That's looking better, and if anyone says, oh, that's not true to form, then shh, it's my own design. Yeah, I realize this probably isn't up to the standards of, well, gun making, but it is just a beginner's tutorial. Okay, we're going to switch over to wireframe, and then we're going to start working on this side. Smooth that out a little bit. Start scaling that on the Y. And if I remember correctly, they're going to be thicker in the back, thinner in the front, because that's kind of how your hand works. So, I guess I could always get another reference drawing, and that would make this, you know, better. We're in too far now. Also, this is still way too thick. Actually, we don't control Y. Reduce that down a little. These ones I'm actually going to scale out more on the Y. Not a lot, a little bit. If I can get it right without destroying everything. Scale those. Maybe not. Not quite that much. That. Solid mode. Cool. Very choppy, chunky. Shade smooth. Not perfect, but oh well. We can make this work. Worst case scenario, we add a subdivision surface modifier. Except for this part. That turns that into a horrifying nightmare. Now, I wonder... Can I apply the subdivision surface modifier to those parts alone? The answer apparently is no. Because it's affecting that regardless of what I have applied. But you know what? That is alright. We're also going to shade these smooth. More detailing, probably gonna add some side paneling, because the reference drawing we have here, what are you? You're this one. The reference drawing we have here has a little bit of that on the side, so we'll probably add something, make it look a little more stylized, but we'll work on that towards the end. We're gonna add another, so nope, not that. Cylinder. Rotate that 90. Bring that up. down this time so it actually fits. This we need to scale on the X as well. Not that much. That, then grab, drag. No, that's Z. I don't know the name of it, actually, and I apologize for that, so we'll call it Barrel Junior. What is this? Oh shoot, I forgot. Apparently I already had another barrel in there. I guess if I just, leave it as... Oh. That is not how you spell cylinder. Oh. Never mind, it is. I'm just questioning myself now. Okay, so we're going to make these disappear. And we work on this one. Sorry, I just found an ant just crawling on the back of my neck. Which is kind of impressive, because I'm not actually sure where it came from. Now I'm paranoid that I'm covered in ants. Ugh. Okay, so, nope. Did not want to do that. So we're actually going to hide a reference image and go into, I want this view but from the other side. Oh yeah, exactly like that. Aha! Okay. So, ideally, we'd get this lined up perfectly, but yeah, we're not going to. So we're going to do the same thing we did yesterday. We're going to create an array and rotate a bunch of cylinders around a single point. So in order to get that facing us, we have to rotate that on the y-axis. And by y, I mean x. Where'd it go? Oops. Yeah, I was right the first time. Yep. See, I said y. I meant x, but apparently what I needed was y. What are the odds? Okay, we're gonna get one of you. We're gonna size looks good. Bring it back over here so I can work with you. Make you disappear. It's impossible to see from this angle, so I'm just gonna have to go off of instinct. Okay. Alright, so now we're gonna add an array modifier to that. The number of count, we need 6 of these, and then we're going to add a curve modifier. And the object we're going to select here is that curve. And that's going to distort them like crazy. We don't want that. So let's see if we can get this. Okay, how to get them to not be the way they are. Nope. Nope. Okay. So they really want to be like that, which is a problem for me, because I don't want them to be like that. Okay. You know, I'm really tempted to make some trippy, transcendental. If I get it, that's almost close enough. Not quite close enough, but almost close enough. So I put them too far out, they turn into ovals. And if I bring them this way, they start turning a little more. There's got to be like a happy middle, like a happy medium. Oh, and it turns out if I rotate them, it turns into a horrendous mess. What if I then proceed to shrink the circle? I guess that happens. Decrease the relative offset. That's almost perfect. With the operative word being almost, because they still look like fat guitar picks. So what if I scale them along? Nope. Scale them along the y-axis. They're almost perfect, but they're not. So the distance between these is not right, so I'm gonna add an extra one. That feels wrong. That feels closer to right. Tell you what. I don't actually know how to get these to not be distorted, which ironically is something I mentioned yesterday. I didn't expect it to come back to haunt me so soon. But let's see what happens if I rotate this. Same thing. I want that to not be where it is. Presume something's happening. This dimension. Oh yeah. That's it. So I gotta move them. Oops. Gotta move them without distorting everything. Not like that. Based on the initial position of that cylinder, tell you what, it's not perfect. And I know that it's going to be very difficult to make it perfect. That is basically as perfect as I can make it right now. So here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to tell... I won't tell anyone that I couldn't figure this out if you don't. We'll all just be happy about that. Sound good? And we'll just have weird lemon-ish shaped holes instead of completely circular ones. And then we'll figure it out later on. Is called, but suddenly I can't remember, and oh my gosh, that looks horrendous. Let's never ever shade that smooth ever. Kind of sad because I want to get that part smooth looking. I haven't figured out how to do that without making this look all gross. So. We're gonna leave that alone for the time being and just kind of hide it. We'll call that cuts. Okay. As it stands, that's not terrible. I do want this to be more smooth. What if I just shade that flat? Shade everything flat. Let's see if I can apply some kind of modifier to it later. A little bit longer than I originally anticipated. So it looks like today's is going to be a two-parter instead of, just a regular one-parter. Yeah, which, it's probably good. That way I can actually add some more details to this project. Normally I like to go all in on one single model and then move on to a new one the next day, just to constantly keep it fresh. But I'm kind of liking this one, and I do want to see it through, but I am not going to be able to do it all today because I haven't even finished doing all of the modeling that I'm wanting to do, and we haven't even touched on the shading and texturing part, which I'm thinking I'm going to add a couple different materials and a couple different textures in order to make this look a little more flashy. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that, zoom in like I like to do, pop up to our view, lock camera to view, press N, pop that out, slide over, see what this looks like if it were rendered. Doesn't look phenomenal, but you know what, it looks pretty alright. And I guess that's really all you can ask for. So, there's our rudimentary revolver, which in a weird way, that sounds like a pretty cool name. Just going to crank up the light here by a little bit, just to make it pop out a little more. There we go. Then zoom in slightly. Pose for the render. Boom. Not perfect, but few things in this world are. So that's going to be where I stop this one for today. Tomorrow I'm going to finish this model up. My brain should be a little more active tomorrow, so that'll be good. Yeah, we're just going to call this one over. Now, if you're noticing the mistake I made just now, it's the same mistake I've made in a couple of these. That if you look in this folder right here, I have yet to actually save this model. And that is a big mistake. So I've said it once, I'll say it again. Don't be like me. Just make sure you save your work. Because that is kind of an important thing to do, especially when you're working with 3D models that take a little bit to render. Alright, so for today's Blender a Day, we are going to call it quits there, and then I will see whoever's watching right now, 'cause someone's watching, but whoever's watching, I will see you tomorrow when we polish this thing up and make it look semi-photorealistic. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for enjoying today's Blender a Day. Hope you've enjoyed the background music as well. Links to that music is all in the description below. And yeah, keep it real, keep it fresh, and stay toasty unless it's hot outside. Then